Imagine a palace where every footstep is a warning, where golden walls hide menacing tigers and the floors beneath your feet chirp like birds to betray your presence. This isn't a fantasy, it's a fortress of paranoia and political theatre. Welcome to Nijo Castle, the Kyoto residence of the Tokugawa Shoguns. The castle was built in 1603 by command of Tokugawa Ieyasu, the first shogun of the Tokugawa Shogunate, which ran from 1603 to 1867. This was after Japan was unified under the Tokugawa family after the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600. Tokugawa was appointed shogun and used Nijo Castle to announce his appointment as shogun to the feudal lords. From then on, the castle served as the Kyoto residence of the shogun when visiting the imperial capital. Just right of the entry point, if you walk about 200 or 300 meters, there is an area that is a large souvenir and cafe space. It also has lockers, which we definitely took advantage of. As you'd expect of a castle of the stature of Nijo Castle, the entry gate is quite ornate, with its gold detailing whilst still being incredibly imposing. Guided tours around Nijo Castle are offered in English and Japanese, but we decided to go at our own pace. We did visit on a Saturday, and whilst there was a lot of people at the castle, it did not feel crowded. That said, if you don't want to get stuck behind a massive tour group, it may be worth visiting in the afternoon. The Ninomaru Garden was designed by the landscape architect and tea master Kobori Enshu. It is located between the two main rings of the fortifications, next to the palace of the same name. The garden has a large pond with 3 islands and features numerous carefully placed stones and topiary pine trees. You can't record in either of the palaces, but I'm still going to take some time to talk about them using the power of Creative Commons images. Ninomaru Palace is designated as a national treasure as it's the only surviving example of a fortified palace complex. The interiors are ornately decorated with gold and approximately 3,600 paintings. One of the most interesting features of Ninomaru Palace are the Nightingale floors in the corridors. The Nightingale floors are used throughout the palace, and the floors make a similar noise to a nightingale call as people walk down them. The noise is created by clamps that move against the nails in the wooden beams. Falsely, there is a common belief that this was to announce if there was intruders, but it's actually not. And that's probably a good thing, or Australian real estate agents would be frothing after they come back from Japan at the mouth to raise the rent of any rental property with a squeaky wooden floor by $100 a week by now and call it an analog security feature. The moat between the inner and outer sections of Nijo Castle is filled with koi that you can feed for 100 yen. Can confirm the koi absolutely love it, and so do the ducks. Honmaru Garden was created in 1894 when parts of the Imperial Palace were moved. It was then renovated to its current form in 1895 by the order of Emperor Meiji after visiting the palace. The trees and stones already there were used, as well as the addition of lawn areas, winding paths, and an artificial hill. You definitely notice the difference between the two gardens, with Honmaru definitely having more of a European feeling to it. The grounds of Nijo Castle are quite expansive. There is occasional spots in the garden to sit, but you do need to be prepared to walk a lot. So if you're someone that needs a walking aid, I highly recommend bringing it along. For Honmaru Palace, you will need a separate pre-booked ticket. The palace is at the centre of the castle grounds. The original palace was built in preparation of an imperial visit from Emperor Go-Mizunoo in 1626. The original palace was destroyed by fire in 1788 and a temporary palace stood in its place until 1881. During the Meiji Restoration, some parts of the imperial palace were relocated to the Honmaru, re-establishing the Honmaru Palace once more. Nijo Castle was named one of the 17 historic monuments of ancient Kyoto by UNESCO in 1994, which means it is now considered a World Heritage Site. Cost of entry to Nijo Castle is 800 yen, but you can pay an additional 500 yen to access the Ninomaru Garden Palace on the day. If you wish, you can also book in to go to the Honmaru Garden Palace. You do need to book that in advance though, and it is an additional 1,000 yen on top of the Nijo Castle entry fee. More information is on the Nijo Castle website. It is a very good website and I highly recommend, if you are going to Nijo Castle, spending some time getting familiar with that website. As mentioned earlier, you can take an English guided tour for 2,500 yen per person, and they run at 10 AM and 12 PM each day. Nijo Castle is easily accessed from Nijojome Station on the Tozai line. For more information about the bus lines, again, I refer you to their website. It is amazing, like 10 out of 10 score for the website, I must say. But if you are visiting Nijo Castle, you should absolutely be visiting the Imperial Palace, which will be our next video. Until then, you should absolutely check out our Japan playlist for more inspiration for your next trip to Japan.